Hello, today's video is about Krypton, which is an application for Android and iOS, and you can use it to factor authenticate your logins. That works on a bunch of sites like Google, Facebook, Dropbox, Twitter, GitHub, and a few others. You can also use it to two-factor authenticate your SSH connections, and it can also be used to use PGP and sign the code that you send to GitHub. It also has some features for working in teams. So if you are an admin of a team, you can invite other users. They simply generate their SSH and PGP keys, and then everybody in the team can easily view the public keys. And if somebody needs access somewhere, you can easily use the pub keys to grant them access. There is also a audit log, so all the connections from which user to which server are being tracked, which is really nice for security reasons. Okay, let's start by installing it. For that, I need to join my phone to the screen. And the first step is to simply open Google Play Store or iOS and install the Krypton authenticator. Once that is done, it will guide you through the getting started installation part. So just click on get started. And then you will be asked to install the browser extension. We can simply do that by going to install Krypton and add the extension to Chrome. There is a extension for Chrome and Firefox. And I think further for Safari and Opera coming as well. Next step would be to pair the phone and the browser extension by clicking on Enable Camera. And then we scan the QR code and we get a pop-up to pair our devices. If this pairing step fails, that's probably because either the time of your phone or the time of your computer is wrong. So it also adds the timestamp to doing the pairing. So you will have to have a proper time zone set up. Okay, then since we have it linked, we can now set up our two-factor authentication. I've created a user account on Google for demoing this. So we basically have to first enable two-factor authentication on Google. And it will ask me on Google prompt. And now you need to specify a backup option. So you can either enter your phone number or, for example, just download the backup codes. And then we can turn on our two-factor authentication. By default, it's not using the Krypton app right now. It's using the Google prompt. But if we scroll down, we now get a blinking pop-up for setting up a security key. And this is how the Chrome extension works. It acts as if it's a security key. We click on register and the security key gets registered. I sometimes had issues here on this step, so if it fails, you may want to try to revoke the access, log out, close the browser, open the browser back again and try going through it one more time. But we got it registered and I'm just going to name it demo key. So it's now enabled and it's using our demo key as default. We now log out of Google. And I think let's just try to log in if it asks us now. And as you can see, the phone allowed us in. What you can also do is go to the options in the application. And what I usually want to do is to get asked every time. So then I actually have to accept the login request on the phone. I also want to disable Google Analytics. And I want to also use the developer mode, which is the next step. So now we basically have all this linked up. The browser, and we could do that for the other websites as well that we use, for example, GitHub or Facebook or whatever you use. But I also want to I also want to use it for SSH. So I go back to the website, go down to the documentation, and what we need to do is to basically install a small command line client, which is called KR, and we can use that then in the future. So if you are on a Debian or Ubuntu-based operating system, just run this command. I, however, am on a Linux ARC. So I am going to install the package from the user repositories. And that will take a few minutes, so I will fast forward this step. Okay, so we have compiled our package successfully, so now I can install it. And now we should have the command line tool KR available. And the first step would be to do KR pair. So then I need my phone again. And yeah, I think instead of going there, I will cancel from the command line, go to the phone, go on done, back to the settings, and now I can enable the developer mode as well. And that will give us another installation. So we now click on get started. It will now generate the key pair on the phone, and it will turn on the camera. And now I could have just left it open, the KR pair. But yeah, it will generate us a key. We scan that QR code again, and this time we pair the application on the phone. And as you can see, it now outputted us our newly created pub key. And this is basically the SSH pub we can use. So to test it, we can simply SSH into me.crypt.co. It will now do a request to the phone, and we can either allow it once or allow this host for 3 hours. I am going to simply select allow once, and the connection has been done and everything is set up. So from now on, if you want to use that SSH key pair, you can simply pair your computer to any sort of terminal that has KR installed, and then you can use the phone to connect.